Hi, this is AP Chemistry Screencast 1.3, the general schedule for 2016 through 2017. So if you're wondering what takes place and when, here's the general schedule. Now, of course, there's some flex involved in this, but if we keep to this, we should be in line to have a whole month of review for the month of April. And I believe this was probably the key scheduling strategy that allowed our students to get some very high scores. The class average was 3.7, which I'm very happy with. The national average was 2.6. So let's see if we can keep to this schedule. This is the schedule for Guilford High School for 2016-2017. And let's see. So we have the first two units, Welcome to Chemistry and Stoichiometry, which we need to test on within the first 15 days or so. So we'll start on the end of August and we'll test by mid-September. That's Welcome and Stoichiometry. We then have the Solutions unit, which we need to test on by the end of September. Rates we allow nearly an entire month for, and if the solution test goes Solutions unit goes a little over, then we're still fine. But the rates is the beginning of the first of 3 or 4 of the crux units for the year. I would say rates, equilibrium, acids and bases, and buffers are the toughest chapters for the year, and we're going to hit them early, which I think is a good strategy. Note that we're not starting with the atom and electrons and the periodic table. We're skipping all that, diving right into things like stoichiometry, rates, things like that. That's appropriate for a second-year course since you've already had that, hopefully just last year. So rates at the end of October. Equilibrium we'll be testing on in mid-November. Now really chapters 5, 6, and 7 all deal with equilibrium. They all deal with reversible systems and how it applies to acids and bases as well as buffers. As many as 1 out of every 4 questions on the AP test can deal with equilibrium, something that you may not have covered at all or you may have covered briefly. So that's a big part of AP Chemistry. Equilibrium through mid-November, acids and bases through early December. Try to get through buffers before the winter break. And then when we come back, we study the atom, which is not as challenging a unit and something that you should have reviewed almost all of which before in first-year chemistry. And we'll test that on mid-January, giving us enough time, hopefully, to spend a week reviewing for the midterm exam. That'll just have lots and lots of review questions, many of which are AP released items, both multiple choice and free response. And we take the midterm exam on January 21st. Okay, now it's the second half of the unit of the course, and chapter 10 is gases, which we'll finish by the end of January. Then we'll do bonding, both covalent, ionic, and metallic, finishing that mid-February. Intermolecular forces is something that I covered very briefly. Other teachers such as Bink covered it more extensively. Test on that at the end of February. And then we have energy right through mid-March. Notice that that's 2 weeks. That may require a little bit more than that because that includes really 2 chapters, both thermochemistry and thermodynamics. Then the last unit is electrochemistry, which we will get through by the end of March. And if we can keep to that schedule, we have the entire month of April to do review. And for that, we'll take lots and lots of simulated AP tests using AP released items almost exclusively for every single chapter. By the time you are through with April, you are going to be very familiar with the types of questions and the level of difficulty for every single unit. This is a nice concentrated month of getting ready. And then on May 1st, we have the AP Chemistry exam, which you're all going to do awesome on. And then for the rest of the year, we have post-exam activities. This year we're planning on visiting some of the other schools, the elementary and the middle schools, and performing demonstrations and getting the younger students excited about chemistry since you at that point will be the experts. There will also be a little bit of downtime before we roll into that, and we should be doing this in collaboration with the AP Bio people. So that's an overview of the general schedule for AP Chemistry for the entire year, 2016 through 2017.